Hello everyone! Are you all ready to find out what happens next in our story? Then let's get to it. Chapter 6. When Kay turned her head, there was a man sitting on the sidewalk. He turned his head toward her and he jumped. And she jumped. He had purple hair, purple clothes, purple shoes, and even purple skin. The only things that weren't purple on him were his eyes, which were jet white, no pupils or anything, and his teeth that were white as well. He had a name tag on his chest that said Vincent. "Hey," he says. He looked at her as if she were just a random person walking by. "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" Kate says. He got up and hung out his hand. "Name's Vincent. I used to see these guys all the time, just hanging out." She smacked his hand down and glanced at Foxy, who was looking at Vincent like he was frightened. It caused Vincent to look at Foxy, too. He smirked like he was evil and chuckled at Foxy. "We're closed at the moment. Please leave." "Oh, I know, which is why I'm here." He tripped Kate and got in the pizzeria through the door, or he could. Kate got up as fast as she could and came inside angrily. Foxy didn't look too happy either. "What do you be doing in here?" asked Foxy. "Just to pay a little visit," says Vincent. "Get out of the pizzeria now, before I call the police," says Kate, pulling out her phone. "Bonnie!" screeches Foxy. Bonnie runs out and stops right away when he says Vincent. He frowns, but walks up to him. Vincent looked like he was getting nervous. His smirk turned into a frown. Freddie walked out and saw Vincent. He glared at him like Foxy did to the door. "Bonnie, you know what to do," he says. Bonnie hugged Vincent happily, as if he was glad to see him. "It's nice to see you again, sport." He seemed to hug him so tightly that Vincent's purple skin was turning pink. Kate wouldn't be surprised if he barfed, but he didn't. He just kept squirming. Finally, it got to the point he was going crazy in Bonnie's arms that he kicked the glass door and it broke. "Dang it! Now I have to tell Scott," says Kate. Finally, Bonnie let Vincent go and he fell to the floor. "You need to pay for that." "Okay, I will. I'll be here in a couple days to pay for the door. I'm gonna go now," says Vincent. He ran away. "He's not gonna pay for that, is he?" Bonnie, Freddie, and Foxy all nodded. "Well, I'm calling Scott." The next day, Kate had to skip school so that she could explain and watch the pizzeria while Scott and Boss Freddie were gone to tell the government. Also, they had to close the pizzeria for a day because of the broken door. She told Nico that she could come too. She did. Now she's just waiting for her to arrive. She's just a block away from the pizzeria, like Kate. There she was, running straight to the pizzeria. She looked overly excited. She had nothing but herself on her. "Where's Freddy?" she screamed. Then she dropped to the ground for air. "Jeez, calm down. He's right on stage." She rushed to the stage and saw him. "Hi, Nico. Long time no see," says Freddy. "You remember me," she screams and hugs Freddy with tears in her eyes. Freddy hugged her back. "Of course I do. I don't forget my children." "Great, but that will make you my father." "You know what I mean, Nico." Kate walked up there smiling, yet confused at the same time. "You all right, Nico?" she asked. "I am wonderful," she said that, still hugging Freddy, and lifted a leg up as if she were being kissed by her wonderful love. "Okay, well, I have to tell Scott and Boss Freddy what happened." She walked away to the front doors. Scott and Boss Freddy were standing there waiting. "Okay, so what happened?" asked Scott. It was hard to tell where he spoke from, since his entire head was a big phone. "Okay, so I was just in the office, watching the cameras, and then I heard a big bang in the doors. So I made sure that it was okay to walk over there without getting caught, and I walked over to the door, seeing a crack in the window. I was confused of what happened, so I opened the door and saw a purple man." "A purple man?" Boss Freddy interrupted. "Yes, it was seriously weird. He said his name was Vincent?" Scott finished. "Yes. Do you know him?" "He used to be one of our security guards before you. He did a great job of doing it, but after his shift was over, the animatronics smelled weird. I guess we found out why," said Boss Freddy. "Anyway, back to what happened. I asked him to leave, but then he tripped me, and that caused him to run inside. When I got up, I grabbed him, and he screamed around so much that he kicked the door, and it broke. Then I let him go, and he ran away. But he told me he would pay for the door." "Okay, that's nice of him, but we're gonna have a talk with him." "Nice job surviving," said Scott. "Thanks." Chapter 7. "Kate, why is that lad Scott still here?" asked Foxy. "Scott has been here all day, and has been going back and forth from the office to the dumpster outside. It must confuse Foxy a lot." "I honestly don't know, Foxy. Do you want me to go ask?" She wants to. Why should she ask if she can? Asking questions can educate you, as her dad always said. You can, but don't make it take too long. I want more time with you." Kate went to go ask, until she saw Bonnie laughing to death. He even fell on the floor in laughter. "What for?" "Hey, Bonnie, what are you laughing about?" "Oh, Chica fell on the floor again from slipping on some pizza sauce that was on the floor," he said that in so much laughter. It was difficult to understand. Kate nodded. "Hey, it's not funny. It's not my fault. I didn't see the sauce on the floor. I was busy," yelled Chica in the kitchen. Kate wondered if Scott could hear them. That wouldn't be good. They aren't supposed to be active unless the pizzeria was open. It's not at the moment. You guys should you guys should quiet down. Scott could hear you. Oh, that's right, said Bonnie. Kate walked to the office, finding Scott taking down some posters that weren't needed anymore. Some that kids made, and some that included business. Scott turned his phone head and saw Kate watching him. Oh, hey, Kate. What's up? He asked, trying to reach one that was close to the ceiling. You ask me. I'm wondering what's going on in here. I'm just getting rid of things we don't need anymore. Have you seen these walls? They're covered. We need more room. Yeah, I felt that the second I saw this place. It makes it seem crowded. He got on top of the swivel chair right next to the desk so he could finally grab the poster. I just have one question for you, Scott. What is it, Kate? When you call me, do you use a random phone at home or something? Or do you use the one on your head? She cracked up a bit while asking. Scott looked at her. She saw his eyebrows narrow. What kind of question is that? He got back to grabbing another poster. It's a simple yes or no question. Do you use a random phone or the one on your head when you call me? He walked away with the trash can filled with posters. That disappointed her. He wouldn't answer. That gave her the thought of visiting Foxy again. She walked down the hall looking down, and then she bumped into someone. She fell on the floor, and when she looked up, she saw Vincent. Sorry, he helped her get up. I know I said I would come in a few days, but I felt bad, and so I had enough money to pay for the damage. So I just came as soon as I can. Here. He handed her the cash, and she was no longer mad at him. Thank you. Just don't do it again. You hear? He nodded and went home. She went to Scott and gave him the money. She explained what happened and felt good doing it. Yeah, that's Vincent for you. I thought I saw him walk by, but then I thought it was just my mind playing tricks. I guess it wasn't. He seems like a bad guy at times, but then the next time you see him, he's a different person. Finally, she went to Foxy, and he hugged her again. Foxy's POV. When Kate went to go find out what Scott was doing, Foxy had that feeling in his chest again. Whenever he was happy, it was warm, but when he was sad, it was pain. He's happy now. He looked for any loose bolts or wires again, but nothing was wrong. Maybe it was some place he couldn't get to? He went to find someone to look at him. He found Bonnie getting up from the floor after laughing at Chica. Hey Bonnie, can you check me skeleton for any problems? Me chest has been feeling weird lately. Bonnie looked inside with a confused face. He looked as much as possible, but didn't find anything. What are you talking about, Foxy? Nothing is wrong. That confused Foxy. If nothing's wrong with his chest, then why is he feeling this way? Then why does me chest feel this way whenever I be around Kate? Bonnie thought. Then his face just lit up. You may be having a human emotion, he exclaimed. Foxy's ears pricked up. What do you mean? Humans get emotions for different things. Happiness, sadness, anger, and more. Animatronics like us don't normally get them. Then what feeling am I getting? I don't know. I don't get emotions. Ask Kate or something. Freddie came walking up as Bunny kept explaining what human emotions were. He didn't look too happy about seeing Foxy out of the cove. "Why aren't you in the cove, Fox? You know Scott can see you wandering around." Foxy's ears lowered, but his hand turned into a fist. "I can be out here when I want to. I have a name too. You know it. You be wandering around as well. So why you not be on the stage, landlubber?" "What I mean was if he sees us wandering, he can do something not too dangerous. But if he sees you wandering, who knows what he'll do? You're supposed to be shut down. This is for your own protection." Freddie turned around and walked away. "Don't listen to him, Foxy," said Bunny sadly. Foxy turned around and saw Kate walking up to him. He was so relieved to see her. He hugged her tightly. "It's nice to see you again, Kate," he says. But I've only been gone a few minutes," she says, confused. Chapter 8. I know, but it felt like so long for me," says Foxy happily. Kate looked up at him with a confused face. "But why? What happened while I was gone?" Foxy explained to her what happened, but she didn't see how this could make the time feel so much slower than a few minutes. "Follow me. I have a question to ask you in the Pirate's Cove. I don't feel comfortable asking you in public," says Foxy, walking toward the cove, holding Kate's hand. She followed and grabbed her flashlight out of her pocket. When they were in, he sat down, as she did too. "So, what's up?" she asked excitedly. He sounded like he took a deep breath, although he doesn't need to since he's an animatronic. But it could be his voice box. "I have this weird feeling in my chest whenever I be around you. I don't know what it is. When I'm sad to let you go, it hurts. When I be happy to see you, it's warm." Foxy explained what Bunny said it was, and Kate listened and thought. Sometimes she had that feeling around Foxy, like now. She was glad to be so close to him. Then, when he was finished explaining, she spoke. "It may be love." Foxy was startled to know that she knows what the emotion may be. He heard parents and couples say the words, "I love you," but he wasn't sure why. "What's love?" he asked. Then Kate explained everything she knew about love. Foxy's ears got higher as she explained, and his tail wagged a little. "So, you're saying that I love you?" he asked. Kate blushed when he said that, but then she nodded. Foxy finally knew what he was feeling, and he was glad that he didn't have to live in the dark from knowing anymore. "Foxy, I think I feel that way sometimes around you too," says Kate, still blushing. She couldn't believe she just said that. She felt so embarrassed. She's in love with an animatronic? That can't be right. She hugged Foxy and snuggled into him. He was warm and comfortable. He hugged her back, careful not to scratch her with his hook. He would never forgive himself for that day. He felt odd to know that she forgives him. But then he reminded himself to forget about it. She forgave him, and she still loves Foxy. That's that. The curtain opened, and there was Nico. Her eyes widened when she saw Foxy, and she backed away. "Kate, don't you remember what he did to you? How can you stand to be so close?" she asked. Kate felt angry whenever she did this. He's fine, Nico. He wouldn't hurt anybody. But he hurt you and that little girl. It was an accident. He didn't mean to. My scratch was because of the pain of breaking his jaw. And the girl? I hadn't realized I had done it until I saw it, Foxy finished. Nico looked at him. He looked at her innocently. I thought he was supposed to be shot down, she said. Can you please stop talking about him like he's not here? No, Foxy looked at her and saw some tears in her eyes. He felt sad to see her sad. He got closer and hugged her again to comfort her. She liked it. Okay, but seriously, why are you still active? She asked Foxy. He looked at her and didn't know what to say. So that's just what he said. I don't know what to say, lass. Kate told her it was a long story and difficult to explain. Kate's POV. Once that subject was cleared out, Kate went outside of Pirate's Cove and saw Nico hugging Freddy again. She couldn't believe how much she loved Freddy. He was all she talked about and thought of. But then she realized that was exactly how herself was, only on Foxy. The next time she saw Nico, she was singing with Freddy. She was good. She knew every single one of Freddy's songs. They seemed to be a good duet. It made Kate want to sing with Foxy. But then she saw Scott walking down the hall, ready to leave. Foxy, Freddy, Scott's coming. Get back to your places. Foxy got back in the cove, and Freddy stood in the middle of the stage, holding his microphone. It confused Nico. Bonnie all of a sudden grabbed his guitar and rushed out of the mechanical room and onto the stage, looking like he was ready to play his guitar. He tripped one time and almost got Scott's attention, but he made it to the stage all right. Okay, Kate, I called your teachers, and you're lucky that you don't have any homework. I'm going home now, so I already recorded a phone call for you in the office. So you're all set for tonight. Good luck surviving, says Scott. He sure does have a way of getting you excited for getting ready to die. Okay, thanks, she says, and watched him leave. She waited for him to be so far away from the pizzeria that you couldn't see him anymore. You're good. When she looked up on stage, she saw Bonnie laughing. Oh, did you hear that sentence? Good luck surviving. Oh, it was hilarious. He kept laughing. It caused Kate to laugh as well. Then Foxy joined in with a yeah. Foxy's POV. Once Nico left the pizzeria to go home and sleep, Kate fell asleep in Foxy's lap. Foxy never thought this would happen, but then he remembered that humans sleep. They need their rest. So he made sure nothing was too loud in the pizzeria to make her wake up. Bonnie was laughing again, at who knows what, and he woke up Kate. So Foxy got up and slapped Bonnie. Ow! What was that for? He screams. You woke up the lass. I was trying to let her get some sleep, says Foxy angrily. Chapter 9. When Kate went back to school, she was happier than usual. Maybe it was because she's excited to see Foxy tonight? Who knows? She was still shy, but she was just happier. Although, when she had someone else to see under her sleeve, she still said these exact words. No, You're not going to see my arm, so please stop asking. In art, they were assigned to draw and color something they admire and would like to see every day, as long as it was appropriate for school. So she drew Foxy and the others. Then over the top she wrote, "I mostly want to see Foxy." The teacher looked at it and she smiled. "It's nice to know that you still love the pirate fox that hurt you, Kate. Loyalty is one of the biggest parts of kindness." "What are you talking about? The pirate fox hurt her? What, was she in the bite of 87? Ha ha," said another boy at her table. "Yes, I was," Kate thought. So she stamped on his foot under the table, and he yelped. He looked under the table to see who it was, and then Kate rose her sleeve and showed him the scar for a couple seconds. He gasped. So he tapped his friend's shoulder and told them to look under, and right away she covered her arm again. "What? There's nothing there," he said. The boy looked at Kate and mouthed, "Sorry," and got back to work. "Don't listen to him, honey. I know what happened. I think it's great that you will do anything to see Foxy the pirate," says the teacher. "What, the lame pirate fox at Freddy's Fazbear Pizza? He's for babies, you know. Wasn't he shot down?" says that other boy's friend. "Yes, he was. And he's not for kids. He's for everyone. Also, it's called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. But I guess that's not a very big problem now, is it?" says the teacher. After class, Kate thanked the teacher for standing up for her like that. She really appreciated it. "No problem, Kate. I know you don't feel very comfortable speaking to people other than your family, teachers, and friends, especially if you want to say things like what I said to him, asserting yourself. Now run along to lunch. I'm sure you're hungry after drawing such a great picture. So well, with so much effort." "You showed him your scar? That's my girl," exclaimed Nico. Kate explained to her what happened in art. "Shush, keep it down. I only did it so that he didn't make fun of the bite of 87 anymore," says Kate. "Hey, can I go see Freddy again? Please?" asked Nico. She even gave Kate the puppy eyes. Kate had to say no. Boss Freddy said no. "No, my boss said only one night. Besides, don't you want your beauty sleep?" she asked. Nico's beauty sleep was important to her, although she didn't know why she called it that when you wake up looking like a troll. "Oh, I guess I do need my sleep." Good. When the last bell rang to go home, Kate just rushed to the bus, and when she got out of it, she almost tripped on the stairs, but she still lived. She ran straight to the pizzeria. She didn't even touch the door yet when she just passed out in front of the doors. "Is she all right?" "I think so." "Please, lass, live." Kate slowly opened her eyes. She jumped when she saw Foxy on her left and Bonnie on her right. She didn't want to sit up. She was afraid of what happened in a lot of books or movies she saw or read. "Kate, oh, lass, I was so worried. Don't do that to your Foxy again." Foxy gave her a big hug. "Foxy, I told you she was okay. She was just sleeping. Well, more like passed out, but yeah." "What are you guys talking about? Where am I?" asked Kate. She sat up and saw she was on the table in the party room. "You're in the pizzeria. We found you outside the door sleeping," says Foxy, confused. "Oh, yeah," she thought. "Oh, Foxy, I was passed out. I must have ran too much, with not enough time to breathe. I'm okay." Chica made some pizza and gave it to Kate to eat. She was worried too. What about Freddy? Did he even know? Where was he? Bunny's POV. Bunny was just in the mechanical room when he heard a very odd sound outside. It sounded like a body or something falling on the ground. He walked out to see what it was, and he saw a familiar face on the ground outside of the pizzeria. It was Kate. "Foxy!" he yelled. He looked around to see if it was okay to open the doors and get her. Once he knew it was okay, he pulled her inside with Foxy. "What happened to her?" Foxy asked. "I don't know. I think she just passed out." "Humans do that." "Why?" "Because they don't have enough air, or they don't eat or drink enough. There's many reasons why humans pass out. For us, it's whenever we don't have enough power." "I'll go get Chica." When Foxy got back with Chica, she panicked, so she went and made pizza. About an hour later, Kate woke up. "Is she all right?" asked Foxy. "I think so," says Bunny. "Please, lass, live." And there she was. She woke up asking where she was. What happened? "Oh, thank goodness," Bunny thought. "Kate, oh, lass, I was so worried. Don't do that to your Foxy again." "Foxy, I told you she was okay. She was just sleeping. Well, more like passed out, but yeah." Chapter 10. Freddy's POV. Freddy was sitting backstage just thinking. He was thinking about how his human life would have been like. He couldn't remember what it was like, so he just had to think about it. Was it good or bad? Did he do something to become this way? How old was he? What was his name? He heard something coming from toward the front doors. He assumed it was something like a bird or someone dropping something, so he just sat there still thinking. A few minutes later, he heard Bunny calling for Foxy. What for? He was sure it wasn't too important, so he just stayed there. He always thought it was important only if they called for him as well. He looked at his microphone in his hand. Was he a good singer as a kid? Did he like music like he does now? He had so many questions that he couldn't answer. Nobody could. Maybe his killer could, but maybe not. Maybe his killer was a man who didn't know Freddy as a kid, and he just randomly killed him for no apparent reason. He couldn't even remember what his killer looked like. Just a little fuzz of purple. Why? Foxy's POV. "So, how was your day, Kate?" asked Foxy while she was eating her pizza. She seemed so relieved. Maybe she was just hungry and just enjoyed eating something after running so much that she passed out in front of the pizzeria. He'd heard that Chica's pizza was really good, so I guess that would be the reason. Kate must have forgotten how great the pizza was after 7 years. It was okay. In art, I had to draw and color a picture of something I want to be around all the time. And guess what or who I drew? She asked excitedly. Foxy sat up. He hadn't guessed since he was a kid, so he didn't really know what to say. All he really knew were things in the pizzeria. "I don't know. What?" he asked Kate slouched disappointingly. She obviously couldn't believe he couldn't guess. She sighed, walked around the table, and sat down beside him. She put her hand on his shoulder and looked down. "Foxy, I'm very disappointed in you," she finally said. "Why?" Did I do something wrong that be making you sad? No, I just couldn't believe you didn't guess. Foxy, I drew you guys. You, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy. She looked at him happily. His ears rose, and he started wagging his tail. He hugged her for an awkward amount of time. Kate blushed, but still hugged him back. Thank you, Les. That be meaning a lot to me. You seriously want to be around me all the time? He stopped hugging her and looked into her eyes. Of course, Foxy. You're my best friend. Even after what happened. But like I said, that's behind us now. She smiled. Foxy smiled back and hugged her again. His chest felt warm again. I want in the fun too, says Bonnie with a funny voice, putting his face in between the two. They laughed and laughed. Chica made more pizza that Kate wasn't so sure she could finish. Animatronics don't eat, so she packed the rest of the pizza in a plastic bag to take home. Foxy wondered what it was like to starve. He knew it was an odd thing to think about, but he didn't remember anything from his child life. So, what would he wonder? Kate yawned and stretched her arms out. I'm getting tired. Can I sleep a while? I've got 2 hours left. Foxy looked in the cove and then back at Kate. It was either the cove to sleep in or out in public where people can see him getting feelings for her. Pirate's Cove it is. When the 6th bell rang, Kate got up, but she didn't. Foxy was hugging her. He wouldn't let her go. Foxy was awake. She knew it. She was just glad she was here and didn't want her to go to school. He just sat there and didn't move. Foxy, let me go. She kept struggling and struggling. Foxy, I'm gonna be late for school. But that was why he was doing this. He didn't want her to go. Finally, Kate knew what to do. She stopped squirming and slowly got closer to Foxy's face. Then she kissed him on the cheek. Foxy's eyes then popped open and his ears pricked up. A smile formed across his face. Ah, what was that for? She frowned, still trying to escape. Let me go. The pizzeria will open in 30 minutes and school will start in 10. Finally, he let her go, and she kissed his cheek one more time with meaning this time. That one was for everything you've done for me, she said, smiling. Bye. And then she was gone. Foxy was so happy that whole day. He was humming and singing that entire day in the cove. He wasn't thinking about that part. He was supposed to be shut down. Everyone in the pizzeria was confused and started talking about it. Finally, Freddy couldn't take it anymore. He walked to the cove and peeked through the curtain. Hey, keep it down. You're causing a scene. You're supposed to be shut down, he says. That caught Foxy's attention. He stopped singing and did nothing for the rest of the day happily. There you have it, guys. That's all from me for now. If you want to see more, just subscribe, hit like, and turn the notification bell so you'll know when the next part is coming. Until next time, sweeties. Bye.